Hey, I'm Matt. Today I want to talk to you about one of the coolest accessories I've ever seen for a pocket hole jig. Let me show you. It has a few surprises in store that you can't see just on the surface. This video is brought to you by 731woodworks.com. Go check out our online store. We have easy to follow build plans to help you make awesome projects. So first and foremost, this is an organization system for your Massca jig. If you've seen my Massca jig and how I organize bits, I just stuck a magnet on there. While that works, everything's kind of jumbled up there together, and it's not just the perfect solution. I mounted mine to this board like you see here, and it works to help carry it around the shop and just keep everything in one place. This is so much better. This is next level organization. This is not sponsored by anybody. Massca let me know about this product that Creative Tool Company was making, and me and Andy, the owner of Creative Tool Company, have been talking back and forth. He sent me this, and I told him I wanted to do a video on it, and he agreed. Andy and Alice, a husband and wife team who own Creative Tool Company, are just starting out, and they're just trying to make a go at this. He said, I'm a little fish with big dreams and a lot of drive, and I can respect that. Everything is nicely packaged, it's well padded, a good job on packaging. It comes with a nice set of instructions. Everything tells you how everything works, how everything's laid out, how to attach your jig to it. One of the very first things I noticed was this anti-skid backing that it has on there. That's really nice. I like that he included the logo that's colored. Just a nice touch. As you can see, the footprint is quite a bit smaller than the one that I made. I like that it's a much smaller footprint. So we're gonna take that off of this old junky board and put it on that one. You'll use the same screws that come with your Massca M1 or M2 jig to mount this. I've got the M2, the M1 will mount to it as well. So there's pre-drilled holes here for you to mount into. This is MDF, so be careful and do not over tighten your screws. I would absolutely go with a screwdriver and hand tighten them instead of trying to drive them in with a driver. I really like the forethought that Andy had. He cut these slots out. That gives you some room to manipulate this stop block, so that slide that back and forth and still use the thumb screw to tighten everything down. On this Massca M2, it comes with these work supports, but you can just use that as a stop block so that you can make repeatable pocket holes, or you can turn it this way and use it, which is the way I normally use it, as a work support out here on the edges. Now this was one of the main complaints I had on the M2 pocket hole jig review, was this depth set for your drill, and I was scared I was going to lose it. I haven't lost it, but it's so small I was worried that I would. Andy has included this little place to keep it. It's got a little rubber stopper in there so that this little plug fits in there, and it's nice and snug, so it's not going to fall out. There's also wrench holders or wrench slots for the hex key wrenches that you use to adjust your stop collar, and the larger one is for adjusting some things on the jig itself. What? That's magnetic, y'all. Check that out. That was unexpected. That was unexpected. That's awesome. If you move this around the shop, you know things tend to fall out, or if you hang it on the wall or whatever. That's next level. Good thinking there. Magnetic keeps for those wrenches. Then on the left side of the jig, so you got a slot there for your drill bit, and then also for your driver. Both of those are magnetic as well, so everything's being held in by magnets, so you're not gonna lose these bits if you choose to hang this on the wall. So now that you got everything installed in there, you can see everything's magnetic. You're not gonna lose your wrenches or your bits. How awesome is that? I like that it was magnetic. It was very unexpected. I didn't know much about the board other than the way it looked before it was sent to me, but those magnets just add that next level awesomeness to something like this. Other than sawdust, ain't nothing falling off of this. That's awesome. Good job, Andy. Another amazing feature about this board, you see those holes right there have a purpose, and they are to set your drill bit collar depth. Instead of using the plug to set your drill bit depth, you use these holes instead. I have a prototype version of this, so the final version will have markings for half, 3/4, 1 inch, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, all the way up. So the way you use this, do not stick the tip of the bit in. You would stick this end, the way he's designed this, so that you're gonna set it like this. If we was doing a 3/4 inch board, a 1x, you would stick the drill end into the slot, and then just simply move your collar up there and tighten it down. Put your wrench back in the magnetic slot. A great feature about this board is there's 4 ways you can attach it to the workbench. Temporarily with clamps, 2 different ways, with bench stocks, and with screws. Let me show you. So when you're working with a piece of stock, you know that a lot of times your jig will be moving around on you. If you don't want it to do that, if that bothers you, there's a couple of ways you can actually mount this to your workbench. You can take a couple of quick clamps and just clamp it down on each side. That works just perfectly fine. Now it's not going anywhere. Another way you can clamp this to your workbench, I don't think a lot of people realize that this groove in the bottom of their Massca M1 or M2 jig is actually a groove for a clamp, like a dovetail clamp. Massca makes one like this that you just simply slide in there. Now we got that clamp to the workbench and it's not going to go anywhere. We can drill multiple holes and not worry about it slipping and sliding. If you also have a dovetailed clamp like a micro jig clamp, those work as well. Another really great feature is if you have a workbench that has bench dog holes like this Works portable workbench and a couple of bench dogs, this thing will actually secure in with bench dog onto a standard workbench so that it doesn't slip and slide on you. That is a fantastic feature. And then the fourth way you could actually attach this to a workbench, just put screws down through these 4 holes that he's pre-drilled and countersunk on these 4 corners. Securing that to the workbench, whether that be with quick clamps, with a dovetail clamp, screwing it to something, or using bench dogs will make it a lot easier to drill your pocket holes, safer because it's not going to be moving around on you. And I really like that it includes so many different ways to clamp it to your surface. It really is a fantastic product. He's thought of a lot of different things that I would have not thought of. The magnets inset in there, the little rubber grommet that holds your depth stop in there, the non-skid pad on the bottom adds a little extra. A lot of people wouldn't even have thought of that. They would have just left it as an MDF board, which is what this is made out of. Adding the Massca logo and coloring it's just a nicety too. And then of course the depth stop holes on there, that is fantastic and will save a ton of time. You're not gonna have to worry about hunting for these wrenches because I spend a ton of time in the shop looking for pencils, tape measures, and then of course little wrenches like that get placed in a drawer somewhere and covered by tons of crap. So now I've got them in a spot that they're magnetically in there. So that's awesome. Again, understand this is not a sponsored video. I wanted to help Andy out. He's just starting out, and I think it's very important that people who have a following or an audience to help people out who are just starting out, and I want to help bring Andy up. That's why I agreed to do this video. Hey, if you like videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon next to it so you get notified of all the new content we've got coming. If you like this video, click that box right there. It's gonna take you to the Massca M2 pocket hole jig review. You're gonna wanna see that review if you haven't seen it yet. Click in that box, get you that big old virtual fist pump. Also another Massca jig review right there.